Hi, my name is Katie Ferguson, and one of the first questions that was asked was describe Montessori's observation of children with mental and emotional problems. Well, Montessori's observation of children with mental or emotional problems is that they need some assistance in helping themselves. They also need to work at their own pace with some accommodations based on their individual needs. Another question that was asked was how did her observations change her ideas about the education of young children? She noticed that not all students learn the same, so therefore they all need to be multiple components to each lesson in order to properly teach each and every student, no matter their disability. So they can have any kind of disability, and the lessons still need to be multiple components for each one to properly teach each student in every way. Another question was, what are the benefits and limitations of her methodology? And basically the benefits are that each student is on their own learning path, and therefore if they need extra help, they are not keeping others held back from their goals. So basically that just means that children need extra help and they're on a learning path that won't keep other students from reaching their own goals. The limitations are that there are so many needs in only one teacher. So the teacher has to make time for everybody. So basically, yeah, a lot of the students are going to have many needs, and there's only one of us as teachers, so that we will always have to make time for those students and stuff. Another question was, describe what Montessori learned while observing children using the sensory materials she designed. She basically learned that using the sensory materials helped the students retain the information a lot better because it invoked an emotion. So basically that means that retaining the students with all the information, that it helped make the children invoke an emotion. Next question is, how did this observation change the way Montessori's teachers taught reading? Basically, she would use the smells and sight for reading, and if she was reading a book about food, she would bring it in, and this would help the students retain the story by describing how it smelled or felt or tasted. So that's a really good thing to do, that if you are reading a book that has to do with food, bring the food in and just let the children try it, smell it, and see how it feels. And with doing this, it helps the children learn what kinds of foods there really are and how they taste. Oh, the last question that we were asked is, have you seen any examples of sensory learning in your observations? I have not, personally I have not, because I've only done 10 hours of observation so far, so I was in a classroom twice for 5 hours each day, so I really didn't see much of sensory learning in it. I was in a 2-year-old classroom, so I really didn't. Basically, the days that I was in the 2-year-old class, they were just playing and basically had lunch and took nap time is basically all really that was going on. So I really didn't see much sensory learning in my observations so far, but I hope that in the future, when I do have the rest of my observation hours for all my other classes too, that I will have some examples of sensory learning in my observations.